Hello guys, what's up? Ally here, and today we're going to be going over how to record video game footage, some gameplay. I'm going to be going over PC gameplay and also console gameplay. Now with consoles, you're going to have to use a separate piece of hardware known as a capture card, and you're going to have to run that through your console and your computer to store the files. Actually, there are some capture cards that I know of to where you can record them onto the capture card and then move them onto your PC. So that isn't always the case. That's generally the case, though. And also, there are pieces of hardware that plug into your computer, and you keep them inside of your computer, as opposed to having like a box that's sitting on a table, and then your computer's under the table, and your Xbox is on top of the table, and then a cord goes through both of them and goes in, and that's the normal way to do it. That's the general way that most people go about doing it, but that's not the only way to do it. Now, the popular thing used to be using the Hauppauge HD PVR, which recorded only in component, no live streaming, no video editing software or anything. They had a converter, and they had obviously software. All of them are going to have software for recording the actual device. Now, Roxio, their capture cards have their own editing software. I've used it before. It's okay. The bad thing is the file formats that they record in, normally you're going to want to use their video editor, unfortunately, so if you use something else, that's not going to be the best thing. Roxio has the Game Capture and the Game Capture HD Pro. The Game Capture is standard definition. The Game Capture HD Pro can go all the way up to high definition, obviously. Hence the name HD. You can live stream with it. You can use component or HDMI. Now the thing with consoles is some of them have pass-through protection, HD, CP, high definition copyright protection, which protects you from using HDMI to record things because of piracy, I guess, I don't know. And the PS3 is a big thing with that. You can use, I think Elgato has an adapter for theirs that you can use, or you can just use component. Now I'll go over some of the capture cards. I was in the middle of doing it, but I forgot to mention that a little bit. Elgato, as I just said, is a big one. They have really nice software. I know. I've never used one personally, but I've seen that they have really nice software featuring live commentary you can do. You can live stream with the device. It's very small, and it's HDMI, but it also has a device that allows you to capture things that have high definition copyright protection. So you're set no matter what you're recording with that. That's really nice. The Roxio I did have a Roxio, and I did have a Hauppauge HD PVR, which is only component, the Hauppauge HD PVR. The HD PVR 2 has HDMI, and it's in component. I'm not sure about that, actually. I'm sorry. You can easily look it up, though, so it's not like it matters if I mess up on that. And instead of me just assuming things and then messing up and then people thinking it incorrectly, I'm just going to admit that I have no idea if it does feature both. I think it might not, but again, I'd look it up and be safe. AverMedia has a ton of capture cards. They have some that are inside, like a lot of theirs are inside. But they released a Live Gamer Portable, which is not inside. And they have, AverMedia has some that you can plug up a hard drive to. And you don't have to have it right on your computer in case you play not right next to your computer. Then you're still good on that. I'm trying to think of some more capture cards. I think those are pretty much the big ones. Blackmagic has internal and external cards. Those are quite pricey, though. I wouldn't really recommend those. I've heard that they're good quality, though. But if I was buying something right now, I'd probably go for the Elgato. The Roxio's okay. It's a little cheaper than that. If you want to get the Roxio, that's fine. And then if you can get a good deal on pretty much any new card that records in high definition is going to be good. There's not like some like just huge winner or anything. So whatever you can find the best deal on. Obviously some of them don't have quite as many features as others, and some have, you know, different form factors. The Elgato is rather small compared to the Roxio Game Capture, though the Roxio has support for component, but Elgato makes up for that with their little adapter cable. They have a cable that works with component stuff, like things that you can't use HDMI on. Now, if we go into PC, this is why I actually have a screen here. I'm going to go more in depth with PC because I can actually show you everything, because I don't own any capture cards, and I definitely don't own all of the capture cards, so I couldn't show you individually. Now, there are two main things that people use to record PC gameplay. There are others. There are some hardware cards that you can use, such as the AverMedia has a few. They have, and some capture cards can record it too. Like, I think you can use the Elgato to record your stuff too, if you wanted to do that. But I'd rather do it just on my PC with software like Fraps or Dxtory. That's a good thing if you have a good computer. If you don't have a good enough computer, you need to use hardware to keep your frames stable. Then you would, of course, want to invest in a capture card. Now, I'm going to go over my settings and stuff and show you guys what I think is the best to use. I'm going to go ahead and say I prefer Dxtory. Some people like Fraps. Dxtory has a lot more options. Doesn't matter, really. I mean, they're both going to make some good quality stuff. Dxtory has the potential to be better. You can make it as good or lower than Fraps. Fraps does not have the potential to be as good as Dxtory. Fraps has one codec. This has many codecs. I'll go ahead and go through Fraps. I'm not going to go to general because I don't want you guys to see all my information on there, but there's nothing important on there. It's just like, oh, hey, do you want to minimize it whenever you use it? That's about it. Now, if we go to FPS, this is a really cool thing. This is for benchmarking. So if you want to run through a game and, say, play it for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes and get the averages and everything like that, you can make videos and be like, hey, I bought a new graphics card. This is how well it runs games with everything I have. And then you tell everybody, of course, you'd be like, well, I have an i5, and I have a 680, and all these things. You know, of course, we go ahead and tell them your specs, and then you could be like, oh, hey, here you go. If you buy the same stuff, maybe you could get this. It's really good. It's also really good if you're testing out. Like, I played Skyrim the other day, and I installed a freaking ton of mods, and I need to see how well it would run, what the dips to, like the lowest, if it's playable or not, and I could check this and I'd be like, oh, okay, well, my lowest was 10 FPS, that's really bad, but my max was 100, so that's pretty good, and my average was 30, so that's playable, so that's fine. Like something like that. I just made up those numbers, I don't remember. Now this, you definitely want to have overlay. I really enjoy having overlay. You don't have to, of course, but I'd definitely rather have an overlay. You pick what corner, and it shows you how many frames per second you're getting, and it also will tell you whenever you record, too, so that's really good. Now, movies, this is the big thing. I do 30 FPS. YouTube compresses everything higher than 30 frames per second, so don't do any higher unless you plan on editing it and needing the extra frames. Like, slowing down things is really good if you have more FPS. Like, you can record in a lot more FPS. It takes up more space, of course, but if you want to make things look nicer whenever you're editing them, because some effects need more frames, then you can go ahead and do that. If you're just like talking and playing, and you don't plan on doing anything fancy, just choose 30 FPS and go with that, and then leave that alone, and then you can split up the files, but I really don't want to do this. Half size takes the quality and like pretty much cuts the quality in half. You don't really want that. It makes for lower file sizes, but the quality really suffers. So unless you just are like super pressed on space on your hard drive, don't do that. Right here you can change exactly where you want the files to go to. Right here you're going to want to have record your sound. You're going to want stereo. You can go into here, do record external input, and have a mic. And then if you don't want your mic to always be going, you can set it for that. I don't want that though. And then we can go ahead and go to screenshots. This is just screenshots. You can pick different file formats. That's about it. Okay, so with video recording, Fraps, you can choose your file size, you can choose the key you use it at, and you can choose your audio you want to record. You can use a mic and everything like that. You know, standard stuff, basic stuff that you'd want. Now, Dxtory has, you get to change all of your colors for everything that you're doing. You get to show when you're recording, when you're not recording, change all of it. Like I have it red whenever it's recording, green whenever it's not, and I have it where it shows FPS. Now here you can go ahead and choose your file output where you want it, and then this lets you benchmark your speed of how fast you write files. So you can, if you pick settings that would make it like way more, like say I had like 200 megabytes a second I was recording in, your frames are going to take a huge drop and it's going to be really bad. This is really, really, really good for recording on an external hard drive, or not external, a separate hard drive rather. Not external, you don't want to do that. Unless it has USB 3.0, I still have no idea on the speeds, and it would vary between whatever you're using, so I wouldn't recommend that. But like, I'm planning on getting like a 2 terabyte hard drive just for recording raw. So what happens is right now I have one hard drive, and if I'm running a game, so I'm using up some of the hard drive on reading a game, and at the same time I'm using up even more to write the game onto my hard drive, it's going to slow everything down. But if you have one process going on one and the other one going on the other, it's going to be twice as fast. So it's even better. It improves your frames per second in-game. It makes your games run better, and it also makes your videos look better, so they aren't staggering, which is very good. Right here you can choose all your hotkeys and stuff. I have a macro on my computer, a little thumb modifier that I hit that is set to Control R, so I just hit that and then it goes ahead and does it. If you don't have anything like that, I'd just put it on F12. That's the standard thing. Another recording thing that people also use is Bandicam. I've heard that it's very similar to Dxtory. I want to go ahead and throw that out. As far as some of the functions, like it has more features than Fraps, but I have no experience with it at all, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. Feel free to look it up on YouTube. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to do it at all. Now, all of the videos you see on my channel right now are recorded with Dxtory, okay? So, and with these settings. So I'm going to show you my settings in case you want to try out Dxtory and, you know, copy my settings. I have scaling at 100%. Like I said, you can do half size on here. You can also do half size on here. It makes, if I record in 720p and I have a 1280 by 720 pixels on the screen, I can cut that in half, and then you just stretch it out, which again makes it look a lot worse. Direct Show is like, it's used for live streaming. I'm trying to think of how it's, instead of recording it, it like streams it. So it doesn't save it all, it just shoots it out pretty much. That's a weird way to say it, but that's what it does. Frames, you can go all the way up to 120 in case you want to do that. I just stay at 30 right here, not 30. But this is YouTube's, is 29.97, which is like the same thing as 30. Doesn't matter. I use Dxtory's codec. You can actually use Fraps codec. I don't remember what it's called though. I think it's actually Fraps and it's not popping up on here for some reason. But you can do that. You can use TechSmith screen capture codec, which is what I'm using to record this. I'm using TechSmith. They make Camtasia. So that's cool. And then for Dxtory, I have medium quality and compressed. True quality is really, really nice. High quality is pretty nice. Medium quality is still really nice. And then low quality is not very good. But medium quality looks really good. It looks almost exactly how the game looks. I mean, you can watch on my channel and see how medium quality looks. It's good. It's really good. It looks like the game. You don't need to have anything higher. If you want to, you can go ahead and do it. It will look better. I mean, I'm sure it'll be less pixelated, which mine's not even like pixelated or anything. Just watch one of my videos and you can see it looks nice. Then we can go ahead and go to audio settings. Now the thing that's really good about this that Fraps doesn't have is the multiple audio channels, okay? So right now I have speakers that go in through one audio track, and then I have my microphone that goes in through the other audio track, and you can add even more too. So like what'll happen is I'll record a file and then I can right click it and then I can hit extract audio, and I'll have my video file, and whenever I click and watch it, it'll have all the video audio together, but whenever I extract it, it'll take the individual channels and allow me to tweak them. So if I'm playing by myself, what I'll do is I'll have my game volume like super high up, and you know, just I'll be playing and talking so I can still hear everything. And then what I'll do later is the video game is going to be way louder than my voice. So I'll go ahead and tweak that down because I extracted the audio and I can mess with it. In Fraps, you can't mess with it afterwards. You have to mess with it beforehand, and you have to test it beforehand to make sure that it's fine. So that's, that's an unfortunate thing with Fraps that they don't have that now. That's a huge reason that I like Dxtory. Also, the video settings, the more functions are very nice. Screenshot, that's not a big thing. It's pretty much the same as that. You can scale it down, though you can't do it on that, but I don't think that's a big thing. You can also not have the mouse cursor or have the mouse cursor. That's a cool thing too. And then this has the same amount of formats as that. Then on here, this is really cool. What you can do is you can start it whenever you go into a game. I don't like that. Some people may, like if you're live streaming. I could see that if you're live streaming, right whenever you pop up a window you want it to go. You can do this. I'm not sure what this does. Some of these, I'm not sure what they do. I know this can help decrease the GPU load. So what it would do is it would maybe make games work better. There's certain reasons why you do certain things. These are more advanced settings, hence the advanced settings at the top. You can give it some processing threads to make Dxtory work even better, and you can limit your video FPS right here, but you don't need to do that. I mean, you're only recording in 30. If you really just only want to play in like 30 or something and not have it go up and down and like change pace, then you can go ahead and do that, but I don't mind that. And then global, that's pretty much all the settings for Dxtory and for Fraps. So if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. Any more info you want to know about recording on PC or console, please feel free to contact me via the comments or a personal message on YouTube. And I'm going to be going, also I'll have a video about rendering the gameplay coming up sometime, so you guys can check that out if you want to figure out how to go about doing that.